Hello, 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 hello. Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I just thought I'd get on and while I had this set up here for a minute. Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Just say hello while I kind of have this set up. I did an interview yesterday for a modeling agency. All their information is right here on this board. John Casablanca modeling agency. I'm basically an expert on it now, but I had my stuff all set up for that, and I have another meeting with them tomorrow, so I'm gonna be leaving this up like this for a while. But yeah, so while this was up like this, I just kind of thought I would do a live stream right here. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. And I thought that this was kind of a cool format, so wanted to see if anybody was hanging around the channel at all. See if I saw any familiar faces or anything, but not anything serious. Just gonna say what's up and let everybody know that I'm still alive and kicking. So, oh, what is life? Am I right? I really am sort of leaning hard into this, like, this idea that everything will be okay if I just have courage. Like, that's my game plan. Like, if anybody wants to know what my game plan is, or anybody asks me what, like, my profession is, it's just like I'm an encourager. You know what I mean? I'm not an influencer, YouTube. Don't get me wrong, and this is all for just, you know what I mean? This is just to play my thing, but I'm an encourager. Like, I believe in courage. Like, I really do believe that if you have the ability to communicate, like, that is the greatest skill that you can ever have. And I really do think that if your life, if you're living a life that's like not happy for you, then you need to figure out how to communicate so that your day is filled with things that you enjoy. I mean, I like to believe that somehow I am made to be able to accomplish things. And it's like all I have to do is just lean further into being myself, you know. And I feel like this has just come from my observation of life on this planet for, however long, 34 years, or whatever. Like I just see everything utilizing to its full extent its physical nature. And I can't help but feel like what a sham like the human being would be if there was in no way that we could actually emphasize that we're a thing that has the ability to interact with our world as well. And I can't help but feel like the more that we just sort of listen to that, the more that it's just kind of like becoming ourselves more, it's like listening to yourself. It's like understanding almost what your limits are to, in a lot of ways, connect with that unlimited potential um, of being something that has purpose. In a lot of ways, we can, I think, associate purpose with limits kind of anyways, because it represents like a goal. There's an ending to this race, and everything like that. But I do think that purpose itself, the more that we tap into it, I think that maybe we can understand that if there is one purpose for something, then there is the ability for us to perceive purpose even outside of our own, and to understand that all those things are connected. And then in some way, I think that maybe we can believe ourselves even more, believe that this was a choice, this is a decision that we made. Then we do actually have the possibility and potential to change our world, change our surroundings. I just feel like I have to really heavily lean into things like that, because as the world just becomes sort of, you know, more of this play on the mob versus the man, or the shark versus the school kind of thing, the lone wolf, maybe perhaps versus the lone stag. Sometimes things are dichotomous in a more simple way. Um, Maybe it's dog on dog, but however it really is in the representation of all sides, I just feel like the way to truly stay alive is to try to understand choices and the choices that you still have and that you still can make. Choices are your greatest tool. Choices are your greatest weapons. And ultimately, the most simple choice that any of us have or has is word selection. And that all just then completes that circle, that round for me of going back to what I originally stated, that the key to all of this is communication. You must be able to communicate with your surroundings. You must be able to understand yourself and be able to listen to, what hurts, and listen to desires, but make sure that they don't take the place of needs. And I think this is all key. And anyways, that's sort of just my plan, and I'm just like leaning further and further into that. So for anybody who kind of is wondering how I'm doing, or wondering what is up with me, or whatever, you know what I mean, then that's kind of my deal as of lately. Obviously, I've been getting a lot more in shape. But for me, I feel like you guys got to realize, like, this is baseline. Like, this, how I feel right now and how I look, for me, this is like what I normally look like growing up, you know what I mean? And it's just, I'm in pretty good shape. I get compliments all the time. That's why I'm doing this modeling thing. Is everybody in my life has been telling me to do porn. everybody, like, it's not just one person, it's not just a couple people, it's a lot of people. It's like omnipresent in my life. I'm getting messages all the time. People just are asking me to do porn. And I'm like, you know what? Like, what is that actually saying? Well, I just thought, like, you know what? It's basically saying that I'm good looking, right? And so I just figured, well, why don't I just go for something like that still has those same qualifications or whatever. So I just thought, like, okay, well then maybe I'll just look into being a model. So I applied the other day, you know what I mean? And I got some callbacks, and it, who knows, it'll probably just be like, you know, come and we'll set you up with all your photos that you need, and we'll help you create a portfolio, and we'll blah 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 blah. But you know what? I was talking with my family, and in all honesty, even though that is probably what it's gonna be, I think I might just go and do it because, I mean, it just kind of sounds like a little bit of a vacation, to be honest. Like, just pay for a little bit, go down to Arizona, you know, in the heat for a minute, and get some pictures taken, and see what kind of pictures, you know, they're gonna take of me, right? Like, I've been able to take some pretty good pictures of myself, I feel like. So, I mean, if I'm all about trying to like reach um, some perspective or perception of myself, and things like that, then who knows? Maybe this could be something that's fun, or, you know, sort of like a little vacation or whatever. I've been going really, really hard, like for the last, I don't know, year. I've just been going hard, just, you know, super hard for a year. But yeah, anyways, kind of where I diverted from was I've been able to, you know, I think restore a lot of faith in my character. And I still do think that it's kind of sad that I was kind of taken out of context, you know, and like, this is here for anybody who really wants to know what's up or whatever. And it's like, you know, but nobody checks this out or whatever. And it's like, I have to go and have all these people judge me and everything like that. But nobody takes the time for anybody who is seriously having to judge me to look at where I've kind of communicated when I was really trying to understand what was going on, or when I feel like I could communicate the best without interruptions or whatever. But so yeah, I'm back to my old self. For a minute there, everybody was calling me Thor, which was kind of cool. You know what? Like, whatever. I'm gonna like look at the positives. Like, when I was going through all that junk, like, I got pretty big, like, size wise, you know, like, it was kind of a different feeling to be like 240 pounds or whatever. And like, you know, some of those photos I kind of look at and I'm like, dude, I got big. And it's like, you have a different presence when you're like really big, you know what I mean? Like, it's like everyone feels like a little kid around you or something like that. Right now, I've gone back to feeling like the little kid, but I mean, for a while there, everybody around me kind of felt like the little kid. So for whatever that's worth, and it's like everybody was just like, "Oh yeah, it's like real life Thor." So I don't know. Whatever you want to, you know, call it. I'm just gonna try and look at it as in the most positive way I can, and whatever, and not focus on all the evils of the world. You always just have to focus on your own work, your own works. You know what I mean? Because you'll never get anything done which really will change and affect your life if you're just continually focusing on everybody else's junk and whatever else. So you just got to focus on your own stuff. Which, again, you know what I mean? Like, would this be what it is if I had to cater to a lot of people, you know? It's almost like it's more of what it is, the less that it sort of seems to make sense. You know, makes sense this way in its own way, I guess. This is a pretty cool. I just feel like it's so clean for being wood. It's like it just feels so it's like so crafty, you know? What else is going on? I mean, the weather is starting to get super cold. I've like my outfits have changed up every day now. I have to wear like an outer shell. I wear everything in layers now. So it's like getting cold. Tried to catch the fall as much as I could. I think I did a pretty good job of that. Catching the weather as it changed, all the trees kind of changing color and everything. And, for a minute, it's like, it's going to be real dark here pretty soon though. And I'm going to be like in the middle of it. And it's going to be like, I know that once like the real darkness comes of like winter, it just gets pitch black. And it's like, I remember going into the gym during all those times, and it's just like you look out the windows or whatever, and it's just like straight jet black. Like seriously, like you're just in the void. So I kind of want to make sure that I like say whatever I want to kind of say that isn't going to be so tunnel visioned when I get to that point, because I feel like when I do get to that point, I'm probably going to be in a lot more tunnel vision kind of thing, or whatever. Like once we really get there. So, but it's coming soon. It'll be here pretty soon. I got all my snow stuff ready. Wind dug it all out cuz one of these days here coming up pretty soon it's going to snow. November 20th or whatever. What is it? It's like the 7th. We got like what, like 15 more days or something like that before it's going to like dump on us or whatever. So yeah, I feel like I don't know, maybe I'll change, maybe I won't change, but it certainly feels like my personality kind of does change a little bit like once that does come, cuz it's like I feel like every move is like strategic so you don't waste any energy, you know, or whatever. So yeah, got to be ready for it before it gets here. That way you can just sort of like slide right on into it, stay above it or whatever, keep up with it. I'm gonna practice some of my. I'm gonna practice where my good angles are on this. If these people are gonna be interviewing me tomorrow or whatever. See what this does. Oh yeah. Put that right there. What else do I want in the shot, huh? Anything else? Well, I think I've experimented and tested everything I want to test and experiment with. So, anyways, if this ever reaches your ears, that's what I'm up to. Whether you wanted to know or not. All right. Bye.